I'm on. Hopefully everything's working good. I feel like I've been away from this stuff for a while. Uh, so hopefully everybody's doing good, and everybody sees the stream pop up. Tonight, I believe everything's going well. We're going to run the stream for. Well, I'm going to run the stream for about till close to 9, and then Jet. Hopefully, some people come in. I'll start talking to them, and I'm going to load the interface stuff around 9:10. Hopefully, everything will be up and running by 9:30. The interface stuff is a video, so it just doesn't right to do a live stream. I did a test run with it, and it needs to be video wise. That being said, anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. And if you see this, great. If not, I said I'm sorry. We've been away. Seems like when I tried, I don't know. Everybody got sick. Everything just kind of went haywire for us, and that's the way it is sometimes. But yeah, hopefully it's not going to be dead. That's going to be sad. Hopefully not. Oh, there's somebody. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully. While I was working on some other stories, I come across some stuff that I found interesting, and I figured I'd throw them out there tonight because, well, it's howdy, it's worth a conversation. One of the things I don't hear a lot about is Loch Ness. Think about when the last time you actually heard anyone talk about Loch Ness other than like a conspiracy channel or cryptid channel or something like that. But I mean, you don't hear much about Loch Ness. You hear more about Bigfoot than you do Loch Ness. And apparently there has been, and see, I didn't think there was any more sightings for a while. I didn't think anyone other than maybe like one or something. I thought they were doing some kind of movie up there. But apparently there has been 5 official sightings this year.
JBL starting to piss me off. 6 minutes and 21 seconds for an episode. That's crazy.
It is crazy. But there has been 5 official sightings that has been reported, and officially the official registry. In case you don't know, there's an official Loch Ness monster sighting registry that you can go to, and you can look up the actual eyewitness accounts from tourists, and like their films and stuff like that that are there. I guess it's kind of cool. Plus, there's a live webcam out there. And apparently, a live webcam captured this large black object swimming directly against the currents. Yeah, 5 sightings of Nessie. I mean, like I said, I can't think of when I've heard of anything about Nessie, and I mean, I think it come up one or two times in conversation, but nothing really on my radar. It's usually on my radar. Like I don't remember hearing anything about it last year. Like I said, I knew they were doing a movie. I knew they did one. I got 2 of the movies here. One's like a fiction thing, but it's still filmed out there. And then there's the other one, Hunt for Nessie. And there used to be this thing on History Channel where they go up there and they do stuff, but I haven't heard anything about it. As my quest continued to look for strange monster sightings, I guess you would say, this other thing popped up. It's called a death ball sponge. Yeah, that's about as horrible as you would think. marine biologists apparently used one of those deep sea ROVs, the weird looking UFO things that go in the water. That's another thing. The whole UFO thing. There was another drop of files today. I thought about going over them, but I looked at them. I mean, there's some okay stuff in there, but it's nothing new. There's one that had like a picture of a UFO, or at least you thought it was, but it was a German like satellite plane thing. I don't know. Once you read into it, there's a lot of PDFs. You can go through the PDFs and you might be able to pick and pull and everything else, but the way they've loaded it, it's not easily searchable. I'm going to have to put those in some kind of system where I can scan those documents, the ones I don't have, and have something to search against, because I'm sorry, these old eyes can't handle it. They had a couple of pictures and they had a couple of videos, and the videos were like of this triangle looking thing. The only thing that was seen to be interesting, and it seems to be following a theme, I kind of knew they would stick it in there, but there was this video of what looked like that octopus thing that was flying across, and it was a different video of the same place, I think, and you could see it in the background flying. I think it's a balloon. I'll be honest with you, some type of military balloon or something that got let loose and went through hell on its way out there to sea or something, but I don't know. One of the ladies behind or one of the people, one of the congresswomen that were behind the whole release of data and that's been doing all this stuff. She said I guess you would call it a podcast. I can't remember his name. He's got white hair, kind of heavy set. I don't know. Anyway, he was interviewing her, and he was like, "Did this change your belief about God or whatever?" And she says, "With pen on, no. With pen off, yes." And what she meant by the pen that shows that she's a congressperson. And she says that pretty much everything's been released, and that there's a statement coming soon. I don't know how they're going to phrase it or word it, but they're going to talk about orbs. They're going to say, like, okay, there's orbs we don't understand and there's orbs we don't know about. Well, that don't make any damn sense to me. I'm sorry. Orbs? I mean, are we talking about the same kind of orbs that you see in, like, the pictures of ghost people take, supposedly? I don't know. But anyway, back to my death ball. They went down 11,814 feet and captured footage of this terrifying, brand new carnivorous species. And they nicknamed it Death Ball. It is a completely spherical creature, and it's covered in millions of microscopic biological hooks used to snare and slowly dissolve passing prey alive. So there is a creature out there. There's a massive God, there's a massive, we're talking like bigger than a whale, for context, in the ocean. If there's one, there's got to be a bunch of them. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Foo Fighters, but I mean this thing. Think of the size of a whale, and imagine a spear, and it's got tiny hooks all over it, and it uses those hooks to catch you and eat you slowly. But apparently they found at least one of these in the ocean, 11,000 feet deep. I hope it never gets up here. Can you imagine those things bobbing up on? I mean, you out on the water and you're doing stuff and you see this round thing out there and it snaps you. That's crazy to me. I mean, that's bigger than a squid. That's bigger than an octopus, and it's round, and it has hooks all over it, and it eats you. Death ball sponge. That's what happened to SpongeBob when he mutated. But apparently there's at least one of them out there. Now, there's another thing that popped up. It's called the Beast of Busseau. Yep, Beast of Busseau. They started re-examining it. There was a historical review of Indiana's legendary Beast of Busseau. And I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm sure I am. But anyway, it's a 1940 mystery. I got it in a book down here. But anyway, apparently thousands of witnesses, including divers and trackers, swore they saw a 6-foot-long, table-sized, prehistoric snapping turtle hiding in a local lake. Now, the lake has been drained, and the creature has never been found. And now they're saying that there must be underground river escape routes through there. So, somewhere, someplace, since the 40s, if this thing lives that long, I mean, how long do turtles live? I mean, we gotta look that up. I didn't look that part up. Snapping turtles. I mean, if they live that long, you know, they're yeah, lifespan. You know, they have okay, yeah. I mean, there's in the wild they can go from 30 to 45 years in captivity, 70 to 100. I mean, apparently it takes 11 to 20 years to reproduce. 80 years, yeah, okay. Sometimes longer. So, I mean, that thing could technically be alive somewhere. This massive snapping turtle somewhere. Surely somebody would have saw it. I mean, if somebody hunted this thing or found it, surely they got the shell somewhere. You know, they could just, like, show it. You know, maybe if they hear about this or they read about that, they'll come forward and say, hey, look, we killed this thing or whatever. But if not, I mean, damn, how big will that thing be? I mean, 6-foot table size shape? I don't know. Now, Bardo, out your way, there has been, in Northern California, well, not kind of your way, you're getting close, but, there's been more Bigfoot sightings. They have apparently recorded, I don't know what the video is, but apparently recorded an unexplainable, massive, hair-covered figure moving quickly through the heavy tree line. And apparently they're out there doing footprint castings and tree breaks. That's another thing that was really weird about my time up there. I know. We're working on things. I got a lot going on, but now I got my train of thought off. How is everybody that's in here? Oh, by the way, I don't. Did you guys ever? I know you had to hear me talk about it, or you heard somebody else talk about it, but you know about Mothman. They're having their big thing up there, in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where everybody kind of descends down upon the town, and It's crazy. They have this festival every year. The Silver Ridge and everything else. That was a horrible situation. Um, oh yeah, it has been hot. You know, that's another thing too. They claim that the fucking sorry, they claim that the I'm waiting on my copy. I don't know where she is. Um, they claim that we lost part of our atmosphere. I read about this a couple days ago, and that we were slowly, or not really slowly. I've been hearing a couple of different things, but we have lost a specific part of our atmosphere, and that everything's going to start to get hotter. And if you remember the video I did about El Nino, um, this is what was going on during the time of the Mayans and the Aztecs, and it was a big issue. I mean, it's if what happened back then, and that would be, I mean, that's what they thought was going to happen, the 2012, when all that stuff was going on, and they thought the end days were coming and everything else. They thought that this thing was going to come back again, and they were referring to, well, they didn't know it at the time, but they were referring to El Nino and the effects of El Nino, because that's what basically devastated them and caused them to migrate. And if it was that bad to ruin, oh yeah, if it was that bad to ruin not just a little civilization. A lot of people don't realize how big the Aztecs and the Mayans were. I mean, they were all over the place. Hell, they just found, in the past couple of weeks, they just found a whole nother temple city out there in the Amazon. And it's some wild shit, man. They took LiDARs and that's one thing to do. I got LiDAR on a drone in here, but it's nothing like what they use. They got something that's probably the size of our Predator drone, that we use in the military, and they take this bad boy and they fly it over, a group, and they do scan patterns back and forth. Holy fuck, man! You can see everything. You can see where they used to plant corn and crops and everything. And you can see every building, every outline, everything that we missed in that jungle. And they're starting to use that stuff here too. I don't know if you guys ever seen, or like you might be at home one night and it's like real dark, and then all of a sudden it gets real light just for a flash. That's some fool flying over with one of those planes that can do the LiDAR, and they're scanning the ground. There was a big article about that last year. Right before that fire that happened in Hawaii, there was LiDAR sweeps. Of course, they were using green lasers. There's actually video of this thing going down and scanning everything. And like right after that, they had that fire. Now they claimed that they were seeing these same kind of laser systems in Texas when they had the fires there afterward. Man, I hope like hell they don't have some kind of satellite laser thing that can make fires. I mean, that's just fucking terrifying. On the war front, there's a lot of weird stuff going on there. Ukraine just smacked Russia. Russia just smacked them. Russia claims they're at the end of their rope, and they're talking about nuking Ukraine. They said this world will end, and it does. So be it. But whatever. I mean, I think they should work out something. I don't see it possible. And Iran said we're going to make a nuke. It's back and forth, back and forth. Everybody seems to get madder and madder, and we go bomb more, and we're pissing off more people. That's how you make the terrorists. I mean, that's just simple math. I mean, I'm saying we should. I'm saying we should have went ahead and nuked them. I mean, in my opinion, that way we ain't got to worry about the after effects. But that when it all boils down to it, when you bomb a country over and over again, you're gonna piss off people. I mean, that's how they make supervillains and superheroes and shit like that. I mean, you know, if you had your nose in comics for part of life like I did, you're gonna see this stuff. It's there. This is where the bad people come from. You go in, you screw with them, and everything. Um, Man, they got hit. They got hit hard, and they're not done yet. I think it was 80 targets. Um, that's wild. That was 80 targets in one night. That was 80 missiles in one night. Honey, copy, please. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean that's old news though. It is. Already happened. Nothing we can do about it. Yeah. But now Ohio, I guess it's fitting when you talk about West Virginia and you talk about the Mothman, because when you start talking about West Virginia, then Ohio comes into the picture, and they are starting to have that debate again about the Loveland Frogman, and of course the Bigfoots they got there. What's your guys' thought on like Bigfoot going through portals and shit? I mean, there's a running theory now that all of the Bigfoots, the Bigfoot sightings and these other monster sightings and these other UFO sightings and stuff like that, there's apparently portals in these national forests. It makes for a hell of a story, but I don't know. Hold on a minute, let me yell at somebody so I can get my copy. I gotta have it, guys. I'm trying to get amped up for tonight, and be right back. All right, I'm back. Told you I wouldn't be long. I just had to go figure out where my copy was. Oh God. All right. But yeah, it's been hot as hell here. I mean it. Hell, it's been hot as hell everywhere. I mean, I don't know. The temperatures. I got a buddy. He said it was 112. Well, I don't know. I don't know about the Bigfoot thing. How long before the next crisis? Well, it depends on what you mean by crisis. Because there's sure as shit a whole lot of stuff going on. I mean, you can't pack all the bad stuff into an episode. I mean, you really can't. Oh, but you can't. Well, it shouldn't take long to fill up, but the amount of viruses and things that are on the rise and that are coming out and they're like suddenly here. I mean, there's TB and Tamaria. What was the one in the fleas? What was the virus in the fleas? The bacteria? Titus.
Typhus. Typhus.
Yeah, typhus. Yeah, typhus is back on freaking cat fleas. It's on dogs too. That screwworm thing I was talking about in the food episode. Well, it's already made it everywhere, and vets are starting to see, screwworms and dogs and other animals coming in. Before long, I mean, they will get in us. um, I mean, that's a crisis to me. Plus, there's this weird diarrhea stuff going on. I mean, and that is just absolutely wild to me. Like I said, everybody in my family got it. I had one that was in the hospital. That's the shit that was going on last week. Or this week, whatever you want to call it. And, I mean, using the bathroom every 2 minutes is crazy. That is wild. You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing else. And it just runs through you. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's punishment for that or for something else. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. If this is it, this is the way. You guys did hear they removed all of the fresh items off of Taco Bell's menu, right? I hope so. Because, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, well, we don't have them in the house. We have them outside. And, you gotta make sure you scrub down your cats with that flea shampoo you find at Walmart. My grandma used to use something called Skin So Soft from Avon. It will get rid of them out of your house in no time. No time. Skin So Soft by Avon. But let's see, what else was it? I lost my train of thought again. I really need my coffee. Apparently, I forgot to put water in the coffee maker thingy. Yes, and other Mexican restaurants. I mean, it's the fresh produce. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's safe to eat salads. Yeah, Skin So Soft. That shit got rid of fleas, man. Yeah, I mean, if you got the cats, dogs, whatever, take and rub that stuff in your hands and just rub it through their fur. I mean, my grandma, she used to have. I probably shouldn't talk about her, but she used to have every one. Any animal you can imagine, she had it, and I mean the other ones too. Um, she had. I mean, she lived from Florida and back and forth, and she had animals out the gazoo. Um, yeah, I mean, I like big cats, exotic cats, stuff like that. Um, she was more into primates. Well, she liked cats too. I mean, but yeah. Uh, but yeah, running back over to that orb thing, you know, it's if so apparently the government's going to come out and they're going to say, okay, orbs are real, and then go in and explain what they don't know about them. I mean, because if they don't know what they are, then they don't know what they are, and they're going to come out. President Trump is basically going to come out and tell you that orbs are real. How is that going to help us any? Oh yeah, we got them. There was mama cat that just had a litter. Well, we got cats all over the freaking place. They're everywhere. No, not the phantasm orbs. I like the phantasm orbs. I got a model of one here somewhere. Um, yeah, but no, not those. you know, like they're talking about like lightning bolt orbs, and they're talking about these red light orbs, and I'm talking about the like orbs that people see in pictures when they take ghosts. So I mean, so President Trump's gonna come out and say orbs are real. We have no idea what they are.
Does that surprise you?
It does. It just sounds messed up. It does. I don't know. It sounds shocking. To me, it would anyway. I don't know. It's like waste of time. What? No, why would you say that? Oh, real quick, you guys don't hear music going in the background, do you? You just say yeah or no. Uh, like rods. That oh man was intervention. I don't know. Oh yeah, you talking about the funeral guy? Yeah, he was interdimensional, but I mean he was like, mm, he was more like death, in a way. Um, he was like a representation of what death would be like. Uh, Still good though. Still good. Now the portrayal of death I really liked was in Supernatural. Oh yeah, okay. As long as you don't hear anything else, we're good. I just want to make sure it wasn't nothing was playing, cause you guys can't hear that yet. That my computer, it's got like a double stream thing, and like where I'm gonna record the interface stuff. I don't want that on here. Um, uh, so yeah, like I said, I'm trying to get these kicked out this um tonight, cause tonight, yeah, tonight and tomorrow and Sunday are going to be kind of like this. I'll come on, I'll do a live stream, and then interface stuff will start at um, 9 o'clock or 9:15, something like that. I can't record it unless I record it ahead of time. But I can't record it. Uh, One, I don't want to record it in a lit room. I think, and two, I don't want to record it when somebody might call me or bug me or whatever, because I don't know about you, but when I'm trying to make a good thing, like a video or whatever, I don't like to be bothered when I'm making certain types of videos, and it needs to have a certain feel to it and go, and um because like I said originally, these were meant to be blog posts, and all this stuff's I think unreleased. Yeah. Um, that was going to be first here, and there's a lot of people that would want to hear the interface stuff that doesn't want to come over here to the live stream and the podcast, and I don't know. Ooh, that's hot. I don't think she's got enough coffee in there. What kind of coffee makers do you guys got? Yeah, like a Reaper. Yeah, exactly. But I think the coolest death I have ever seen, out of all the movies, is from Supernatural. Um, the TV series. There's a where Death has the ring and everything else, and the guy that plays Death and how he acts like Death. The first Death, the one that fights with God or whatever. Um, that is the best portrayal of Death I think I've seen, or Reaper. Now he had Reapers that worked for him, but yeah. Hold on a minute. I'll be right back. had to go fix my coffee. Y'all had to get up again and go in there. But it wasn't right. I'm weird like that. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember where I was. Black and Decker 12 cup. Well, I don't know. I mean, sometimes a coffee maker, I don't know, mentally is effective. And I don't know if I'm saying that right, but like I have like 2 espresso machines, a double boiler in there, and a few other things. Admittedly, some of them's hard to use, but um, like I really enjoy coffee. I don't know why. I just drink a lot of it. But yeah, if you do it right, you can get like you can like extract certain taste and shit out of them, you know. And it's. I drink mine black. I don't know how you guys drink it, but I drink my coffee black. Oof. Remember the old story about Jonah? You know, where he's supposedly swallowed by a whale. That happened recently. There was this guy. I don't know. I don't know if his name was Jonah now. Let's not go there. But anyway, there was a commercial lobster diver off of Cape Cod. He was engulfed by a humpback whale. Apparently, after the whale realized that he had him in his mouth for 30 seconds, it went up to the water, shook his head, and spat him out. So apparently, you can travel in a whale. I don't know if that makes that biblically true or what it is, but you can. Um, mm-hmm. There was something else I want to talk about too. Hopefully, yeah, okay, good. Oh, they're also saying they have proof of the chupacabra. I didn't know if you guys heard that. And apparently, they know the thing about Stonehenge now. Apparently, they had something to do with solar pits, and I don't know if that makes any sense, but like just 5 kilometers away from Stonehenge, they unearthed 5,000-year-old monument consisting of 48 deep pits, 2 massive central posts, holes aligned purposely with the solstice summer. So they don't know if this was like a temporary version of Stonehenge, but somebody set this up with in wood so they could build this other thing. So somebody out there was really obsessed with the with solar alignments and things. Um, you know, when you think about those things, well, we don't. When we think about them, we're thinking like, you know, we don't think about all of everything that has to go into place to build one of them places. And you know, here we have someone built 2 of them. You know, one out of wood, and uh, I guess probably to set it up how they wanted to set it up, and the other one out of stone, of course. Um, you know, it was a premeditated project. So you know, this had to have been a civilization that was there in England there for a long time. Um, Now, I don't know. That was weird. I don't like that one. But anyway, I'm gonna go back in here and check my coffee again and go grab it, and I will be back. I promise. Uh, Type in the chat and everything else. Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, the amount of weird shit in food right now. No, yeah, I mean, no telling, no reason we're sick. That was the other thing. You know, when well, yeah, when I was working on the food story and stuff like that, I had like an open thread, and they were talking about all the weird experiments that President Putin had been doing, and like the sci-fi stuff. I don't know if you ever remembered any of, like people. Maybe you had people that was in the Cold War, or in that thing, but there was a lot of talk about the weird stuff that the Soviet Union did, and uh, they're claiming that they still have these things, factories still going on where they're doing all these weird ass experiments and stuff. And when I say weird ass experiments, I don't mean like chemical weapons or nuclear. I'm talking like sci-fi shit. But anyway, I'll be back. Oh yeah, there's MK Ultra stuff. Yeah, I think she may have accidentally run another pot on top of that one. Then again, my coffee maker might be messed up. I don't know. I can't see through it, so. But, where is that? Go away. Go away. All right. Go away. Now, uh, there is something going on with the UFO deal. Like, there's, I mean, it seems like once it quietens down, they want to throw some more stuff out there. Like I said today, they dropped another uh, file dump, and like I said, it was interesting. I mean, but some of it didn't make any sense why they would dump it. I don't know. A lot of it doesn't make sense all the way through theirs, and I'm sure it was connected in with it. And they just say, "Oh well, I just didn't want to say we miss anything." But when you go back to that orb business, that bothers me a little bit. Now, they're looking at a forum type thing now, um, and this is being put together by lawmakers and the government. It's called Disclosure Forum 2026. Disclosure Forum 2026. Themed Humanity at the Edge of Discovery. And apparently it was pulled together nearly 24 lawmakers, former intelligence officers, whistleblowers, all of the, you know, ones that you've known, heard about if you've been following this. Alongside the Disclosure Foundation, and a poll finding that 89% of Republicans and 88 of the Democrats want more UAP information. So this is whatever. But I don't think they're giving it to us. And they keep talking about David Grush and intelligence agencies hiding billions of dollars each year in slush funds. I don't know. I wonder why they keep circling around to it. Why do they keep talking about the UFOs if they don't have anything? Because it doesn't seem like they have a lot, unless they do and they just don't say anything. I mean, do I think aliens are real? Sure, why not? I mean, I've seen some stuff that I can't explain. But and surely the government knows stuff they're not talking about. But why all the cat and mouse? Why all the games when it comes to UFO disclosure? You know, just be done with this and move on. Um, it feels like it's played out. Now there was this YouTuber. Then now we're talking about bugs. And this is the deal with the tick. The Lone Star tick, the alpha gal stuff. He has a YouTube channel, and he filmed himself trying to kill this thing for a year. I mean, not a year, a week long. And he would put it in water, leave it in water for a week, and like after 4 days, it stopped wiggling and everything else. And then after a week, he takes it out, and the damn thing starts moving again. And there's a lot of people that believe that this Lone Star tick, this alpha gal thing, is biologically engineered. Another one of those weird ass experiments. I don't know. I know the screwworm is, and I do believe that the tick could be too. And this could be some kind of weird attack on us. The same way with all the viruses and stuff that's going on. I don't know. There's just so much crazy shit going on, guys. There is. And I mean, it is real hard to write and report on some of this stuff because you're all over the map. I mean, you see how I am here. I mean, I'm going from one point to another. And I mean, that's just the way it sort of takes me. And I think that is what they want to do to us when it comes to this kind of thing. Confuse and manipulate and mess with you. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about the flock stuff. I don't. That's just crazy. Yeah, and of course you guys heard about the quantum superposition scientist from Los Alamos. That disappeared, and these other scientists that disappeared. And the one dude's friend of the other guy at Los Alamos that disappeared that said the day he called that he was claiming to be working on something world changing and something strange that we never seen before. And the big dam, I mean, like I said, just jump all around. That's crazy. You talk about now if I don't know if you've been following along with what's been going on in China. Of course, I've been gone a week, so I mean I got all this information in my head and around and written down and everything else. They built these massive dams. They're so big they mess and manipulate the weather over there. Well, they had like a crazy rainfall over there, and El Nino. And the dams broke and flooding towns. I think there's like 170,000 people that are dead or stuck. I don't know, but I haven't heard the United States offer help over there. Normally we do that. And I figured like when it comes to the whole Cuba business, I don't know if you've been following along with that. I figured we'd be all over that. I mean, they ain't got no power down there. There's people in Cuba begging the United States to step in, specifically the Trump administration. Go save Cuba. I mean, if we're gonna do all this, we need to go and start getting this stuff done. We need to get on down there and start. We need to go ahead and take Cuba and take everything else and become the greater Americas. I mean, we need to. I don't know your political thing, and like I said, originally when I used to run this channel, I didn't like to talk about politics. And to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you what I am because I don't know. But I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. I'm more of a constitutionalist I believe that we should abide by and follow, as the United States, we should abide by and follow everything that's within the Constitution. And that, and we come to this world and we were doing whatever it was we were doing, then we need to continue doing that. And sadly, that one thing was expansion. And as a constitutionalist, you believe in expansion, but you believe in expansion off your own property. Yeah, we're Americans. We're Americans. But yeah, I just I don't know. I don't get the way everything's going. The way people look at things and do things, and it's to me it looks like everything's set up for failure. If you hear me talk about the event, and you have, there's all these things that interconnect with each other and that are going to happen, and eventually they're going to, head up, and it's going to be a mess. And, we're going to be left dealing with that crap. I don't know. I miss the 80s. I don't know about y'all, but I miss the 80s. Yeah, that's crazy. But I don't think we're gonna. I don't know. I think I'm going back to your original question about the crisis. I think it's possible anytime now. We might already be there. I think it might be the. I mean, hell, the every place around here is flooding, and they got flood maps drawn up, and apparently FEMA is telling the cities, every city, I don't know how far back, but they're telling every city that they need to buy up all the flood zones and tear down all that property. That's just crazy to me. That's a lot of money. They don't want nobody living on the coast. They do not want anybody. The government does not want anybody living on the coast. I mean, and that is not a conspiracy. That is the truth. I mean, they passed a congressional thing, and they said that, that flood-borne areas, the cities need to buy up the properties, and if they can't, they need to let the federal government do it and use whatever means they can to do so. They're expecting our bathtub water to get a little higher. They're already saying that Louisiana is going to sink. I mean, New Orleans is going to sink to the ground. I mean, into the ocean. I have no idea what's going to happen to California and Washington and places like that. I'm sure it's just going to be just as bad. I mean, I did see a map one time. It was in one of these old books that, believe it or not, it was a lot older. I mean, you read that kind of thing back then, you'd be like, aha. But I think it showed a map of California and all of the places being flooded out in the waterways. Yeah, and that's that there's another thing to jump to, water. Apparently, there are different kinds of water that affects us in general. Like the water in space is not the same water here. I mean, that might be like, okay, that makes sense right off the bat. To me, it didn't at first. But apparently the water is different. It's different molecularly, like based on the atom wise. And they just discovered this. They thought all water was water. Water was water. And apparently water on Earth is different. We knew that there was two kinds at least. There was heavy water and there was regular water. And then, of course, there was water that was chemically added like salt water. Or, in addition, like iron oxide water and so forth like that. But no, water in itself can be made different. And it is I mean, it can kill us. I mean, I guess that's what they were trying to get at. You know, they're like, whatever this is can kill us, and it's here. Um, you know, you probably say, well, why is this? You know, like you said about the water, and I was like, you know, what I'm trying to say is all the water that's here on Earth we can't use. Um, and that might be why they need all this fresh water. You know, when you hear like the data centers and stuff like that, and you know, we want to use the fresh water. They don't want to use this other water because there's something wrong with this other water. It's okay for us to drink, but it's not okay for them to put in their computers, which is just crazy. All of it's crazy. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys have had a good week, and like I said, hopefully we will be in. I'm not sure what tomorrow's stream is going to be about. I will be better prepared. I have been working on the flash interface stuff. I kept making changes to it. I kept rewriting it, and I was like, okay, I need tonight to be good because I've been gone and all this other stuff is going on. And I pumped up people, and I don't like to pump up people and not be able to do something, and it bothered you. But anyway, so I want it to be good, and I want to do it as a video. You know, I think the live stream thing takes away from it, sort of. And I'm gonna say at least 70% of it's something that's already been cycled and ran through someone in something. You know, there used to be an old saying that every drop of water has already been drunk by somebody and pissed out, and I agree with it. You're welcome, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this stuff. You are. It's going to go on for a couple of weeks now. You know, it might go on longer, depending on what kind of hell I go through. Because believe it or not, when I write this stuff and when I put this stuff together, I go through all kinds of hell. I go through all kinds of hell to put this stuff out. And I don't know why. Some stories are easy, but it's like when I start to work on one thing, then everything changes around me. And it's like this stuff goes weird. What's there? Oh, I see it. Oh, man, I got to help my kid. I got to move his thing. Hold on. Be right back. Ow. Ow, ow. Anyway, my son, it was in the vacuum cleaner was in his way. He didn't think he was gonna make it out. I've been trying to get some stuff fixed here. I have to here in the stream room. I have to add my monitor speakers. Not my monitor speakers, but my studio monitor speakers, different thing. And they go on either side. And I need to get some stuff adjusted. And that little bit of thing got me out of breath because it is hot here. But yeah, anyway, like I said, I think you guys will like it. I hope so. Anyway, you know, there's some freaky stuff here though. I warn you ahead of time. There is, and it will progressively get stranger and stranger. I had a lot of time to write and work on this one, and it is the plot and the outline and most of the story is all pretty refined. So it's a good story. I liked it. Well, I liked what it's turned into. But yeah, anyway. But I guess, all right, well, we're gonna cut it, and that way the flash interface will be up at 9 o'clock. I'll load the. I hope you watch the video tonight, and meet me back here tomorrow at either 7:30 or 8 o'clock. And then we'll do it all over again. But tomorrow will be funner, I promise. And of course we'll have tonight's video to talk about. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Stay